How economists use the scientific method. When most people hear the word science, they think of lab coats, microscopes, and chemical reactions. But economists use the same basic scientific method, just applied to human behavior, markets, and entire economies. The process begins with observation. Economists look at the real world and notice patterns or problems. For example, they might observe that when gas prices rise, people tend to drive less, or that when unemployment falls, wages often start to increase. These real-world patterns spark questions like, why is this happening? Or, what causes this relationship? Next comes forming a hypothesis. A hypothesis is a testable explanation for what the economist thinks is going on. For instance, an economist might hypothesize that higher interest rates reduce business investment because borrowing becomes more expensive. The key is that the hypothesis must be something that can be checked against real data, not just an opinion. After that, economists build a model. A model is a simplified version of reality, often shown with a graph, an equation, or a set of assumptions. Models help economists isolate the most important factors and focus on how they interact. For example, a supply and demand model helps explain how prices and quantities change when something shifts in the market, like a tax or a new technology. Then comes testing the hypothesis. Economists gather data, such as employment numbers, inflation rates, or consumer spending, and use statistics to see whether the real-world evidence supports their model. They might compare different countries, different time periods, or even natural experiments, like what happens before and after a new law is passed. Finally, economists draw conclusions and revise. If the data supports the hypothesis, the model becomes more trusted and may be used to help guide policy or business decisions. If the data does not support it, the economist revises the hypothesis or the model and tests again. This cycle of testing and refining is what makes economics a scientific discipline rather than just guesswork. In short, economists don't just argue about ideas. They observe, hypothesize, model, test, and revise, just like scientists in any other field. The difference is that their laboratory is the real world, and their goal is to better understand how people, markets, and governments interact in everyday life.